We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone for our segment this afternoon by Dr. Tariq Sharif, the tourism and hospitality expert. Dr. Tariq, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
You and your audience.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us and for your time. Now, of course, the tourism industry has seen a significant recovery in the first quarter of 2023. How do you see this recovery by the tourism sector and some of the steps in this regard, sir?
We've been very lucky that I would say that there has been a big rebound in tourism industry in Egypt and in the region since the beginning of the year, all the way until around mid-October, where, of course, all the incidents that we know. But it has been tremendous. The growth is almost double of what we had before. We're very close to our same levels of the 2010, which is a mark or a benchmark for us in the industry in Egypt. So it has been, by all means, a great, successful year since the beginning.
Indeed. Now, Doctor, how do you see the country's, rich history and cultural heritage coupled with recent efforts by the state to improve and develop infrastructure and facilities, in the country as a major attraction for foreigners and potential tourists?
Well, the industry, the tourism industry is very much related to the economy of any country. So if there is no infrastructure, then it will be a little bit of a hassle or a nightmare for tourists to come in. We've seen different countries in the world where there's no infrastructure, yet it's still interesting to be there, but it's not as smooth as it should be. So with what the country have developed over the years, with highways, with roads, with infrastructure, new cities, and also recently taking care of the touristic destinations, that has played a major role in feeling more tempted for the tourists to come in. We've also done some mega events like the parade of the pharaonic kings, like the Luxor temple. So there have been some mega events internationally broadcasted that also attracted those, and that was supplemented and supported by the infrastructure that we have seen.
Absolutely, indeed. Dr. Tariq, also, how do you see, or to what extent do you see security and stability inside Egypt a helpful factor in the attraction of tourists, from all over the world over the last few years?
Well, again, safety and security is anonymous. It is parallel. It goes parallel with tourism. So no security, no safety, no tourists. People will need to feel secure wherever they travel. So I think we have gone a very long way in securing the country, bringing it to safety levels that is more than acceptable, and it makes tourists feel safe.
Yes.
You can see still tourists can walk around in the streets even midnight with no issues.
Absolutely.
And that has been also been broadcasted by a lot of bloggers, a lot of TikTokers, who have been great ambassadors for us and say how safe is Egypt.
Absolutely, Dr. Tariq. Also, we've seen, upon the directives of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the government has launched a number of touristic projects nationwide. How do you see these projects enabling, the growth of the tourism sector and further revealing the state's keenness to push forward this vital sector in Egypt?
Well, Egypt will remain on top of the list for tourist destinations. I know people have been saving money for 10 years because what they want to do is in 10 years they want to go to Egypt, so they've been saving money for that. Now, there is also, with all these discoveries and with all these new tourist destinations, we are making people who have been here, they want to come back again. So it's not only attracting tourists, but also attracting repeated travelers to come to Egypt. And with the infrastructure, with the safety, with all these new destinations, I see that the government has played a major role in really securing this sector. And that's why we have rebounded properly and very professionally since the beginning of the year.
Yes, indeed. And to add to that, Dr. Tariq, how do you see, the Ministry of Tourism's strategy during the last few years to really promote tourism through different campaigns? For example, we've seen them constantly uncovering new cultural discoveries all around the country and giving them the well-deserved media attention. As you said, recurrent tourist visitors come back for such things. How important do you see these cultural campaigns launched by Egypt?
Well, we have improved a lot in the past couple of years.
Yes.
We stayed away from the conventional marketing, where for decades we've been known as the city of the camels and
the desert,
yes. And the desert and the alligators in the Nile. So I think we've done a great job. There's still more space for improvement, but what I can say that we are on the right track.
Absolutely. And Dr. Tariq, we've also seen, as you mentioned earlier, lots of bloggers or social figures, etc. Egypt has diversified the kind of, touristic availability in the country. We're no longer just focusing, as you said, on the cultural or ancient Egyptian or just beach tourism. We're talking about sports tourism. We're talking about eco-tourism, health tourism, conference tourism. How do you see religious tourism? How do you see this diversification working in advantage towards the increase of tourism in Egypt?
Well, of course, diversity in the product that we offer, our offerings to the world, makes us more appealing to different clientele.
Yes.
Sorry. And that's why we see different destinations are always packed. I mean, those who are here for the sun and sand, and they enjoy the Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. Those who are here for heritage, they fill up Aswan and Luxor. So with the new unconventional sports, tourists, I think we're going very, very speedy, and we're moving fast ahead. We're looking also into adding to this tourist map, like the Holy Land tourism, like the religious tourism, as you said.
Yes.
We're also looking into mountaineering. We're looking into bird watchers. So actually the sky is the limit, because with the diversification of people around the world, we have always something for someone to offer.
Absolutely. And Doctor, we've also seen the rise of conference tourism. Egypt is a unique destination for conference tourism. People also have a chance, to visit all the different sites, etc. And it is a competitive country when it comes to hosting different global conferences.
Well, we are not too far away from where we should be. And again, as I said earlier, we are on the right track in different areas. However, I mean, the conventions is really something that we would like to attract. We still need some more infrastructure in hotels, in conference centers, and of course, we have the roads, we have the airports. So I see no reason why we should not be there in no time.
Absolutely. Doctor, we've also seen different campaigns to further assist and help with the ease of acquiring visas, and we've seen the launching of e-visas. How has this, encouraged different tourists, less red tape, less appointments, and getting their visas online?
Well, facilitating the entrance of tourists into the country is a key. We have seen some countries, without naming, you obtain the visa at the airport.
Yes.
Of course, there's certain security measures that has to be taken. I mean, opening our airports does not mean no security, but it has to be calculated. There's lessons that we can learn from other countries. But that will, by itself, will make it easier for people to fly, because all what they need to do is just book a flight, and they know that they are assured the visa at the entrance.
Absolutely. Now, we've seen the Minister of Tourism saying, Ahmed Isa, saying 11.7 million tourists visited Egypt during 2022, and we are expecting an increase in foreign tourist arrivals by at least 28%. How realistic do you see these numbers, Doctor?
I think it's very realistic from the way we have seen how the 2023 developed. Regardless of the current situation, but that is global, it's not only Egypt. So, and I think that since Corona is over, people are eager to travel. And there's more younger generation who has more disposable income that they can afford to come to Egypt. So This 25%, 24% is very realistic, and I can see that we can exceed it, along with the plans to build more hotels, have more diversity in hotels and destinations. I'm very confident that we can reach that, no problem.
Yes, indeed, Dr. Tariq. As you mentioned, the building of more hotels, more nights of occupancy, another main aim that has been announced by the Egyptian state. Do you see this as also allowing a further expansion in tourism in Egypt?
Yes, I mean, but the thing is that needs to be calculated, because now global trends, people are no longer staying in 5-star deluxe hotels. They're looking into eco lodges, they are looking into houses, they are looking into 3 stars, 4 stars. So here the plan has to be very diversified, addressing different needs, because this also will match with their economical situation. So we do have the type of clientele who is ready to pay $300, $400, $500 a night in a hotel, but we also need to attract those who have a limited budget and looking for a decent and clean accommodation.
Yes.
So by all means, making more space and more accommodation facilities in the country will encourage different niche of markets to come to and visit Cairo, Egypt.
Absolutely right. Dr. Tariq Sharif, our tourism and hospitality expert, I'd like to thank you very, very much, sir, for your time and for joining us this afternoon on Cairo Local Time. Indeed, we have benefited from your expertise. And with that, we have to wrap up today's edition of our show. We do hope you have enjoyed it. Do join us again tomorrow, just after 4 p.m. for a new episode with a new crew. Till then, you're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Many thanks for joining us.